Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Baseball Banter. My name's Elias. I'm joined here with,
Ben?
and today we have quite the show for you guys today. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning their World Series. We're going to talk about
Mm-hmm.
that and about how if analytics are hurting the game. Justin Turner, Rob Manfred, quite the headlines. And then we got some MLB news, and then we're going to go to some Yankees and Mets news. And we're going to talk about who our teams should bring back, free agents that were on the team last year who should be brought back. So first, we're going to start with Dodgers World Series win. So you got your prediction right last episode.
Dodgers in six. Told you.
After two wins, I thought I said the Rays were probably going to win. You said the Dodgers were going to win. You were right. Dodgers played one hell of a game last night.
Oh, yeah. Mookie played one hell of a game
yeah,
last night.
Which you got to be glad he's gone from your division.
Yeah, very glad. But, I mean, I'd rather see him on the Red Sox right now than the Dodgers, to be completely honest. Well, I mean, even with Mookie, the Red Sox would not be in contention right
pitching,
now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, it's nice to see
And, I mean, he's
guys
fun to watch.
Yeah, it's nice to see guys play their whole career or the majority of their career with one team, but that's becoming
He needed a
uncommon
ring
this year.
He needed another ring.
Yeah. The thing I'm most happy, I wanted the Rays to win, to be honest, but after they won, it's nice seeing that Clayton Kershaw won a win. Got a ring.
Yes.
And it's nice to see that he didn't choke in the World Series or the playoffs really this year.
Yes. He had a very good postseason.
So it's really like last year, I hate the Nats, but it was great to see Scherzer get a ring. It was great to see Strasburg get a ring. It was great to not see Harper get a ring. Great to see Rendon get a ring before he has to have a couple years of losing until the Angels get good.
If the Angels get good,
I think they got to be good sometime. They're not gonna. I think Mike Trout's gonna win a ring eventually, and he's not winning it with another team. So
I don't think he's gonna win a ring. I am almost 100% sure he's not going to win a ring.
Their offense is pretty much set though. Primarily
but so is their salary budget. Like, how are they going to afford anybody else?
They gotta invest in. They gotta get at drafting pitchers and developing.
Very good, very quickly.
They gotta keep the guys. Their guys are because they need to get. If I was them, they can't really pay all the money for Trevor Bauer because that would be their perfect thing.
No.
He's an LA guy, but you're paying so much for Rendon, so much for Trout, so much for Pujols. You're lucky
Pujols isn't going to be there if they make a World Series run.
But you're not going to have Zach Kozar is off the books now. Thank God, he was useless. But you got some offensive building blocks. You got Fletcher, Rendon, Simmons is going to be gone too. Yeah, man, they got a ton of holes, man. I know we're talking about the Dodgers here, but the Angels got some holes, and their pitching staff's a disaster. You hope
if Bundy can keep pitching.
Bundy, they need it. People are saying they should trade him. I think they should keep him. They're lucky they found a guy. Just keep a guy, man. I think they have him for 2 more years after this, anyways. So, they got it. They got some. Who do they got? Who else do they have? Heaney, Tehran. As back-end starters, they're not awful, but you can't rely on Shohei Ohtani to be a top-end starter, really.
I think he's going to make a good 3 or 4 more starts in his major league career and then just divert all to hitting.
I could see him going to the bullpen.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's probably what's going to happen. So then they can limit how many innings.
He can be a dominant starter. It's just a health issue.
Exactly.
But he basically hasn't pitched minus 2 starts where he got completely lit up. He basically hasn't pitched in 2 years. His elbow's got to be good eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, someday.
But not over a prolonged period of time. That's just too much stress on the human body.
Yeah.
It's not meant to take that.
Plus, it doesn't really make sense. He's a starting pitcher, but he pitches once a week, so it's a 6-man rotation there. He doesn't because he has rest days and then days where he hits. It's I think that if you can do Michael Lorenzen didn't really hit this year, but man, especially
in the past
in the American League, and especially if the NL goes back, which better not happen. I've voiced my opinion about that. How do you you can't hit and pitch on the same day as. Well, I don't think you can put a guy at DH and a guy at pitcher. Maybe you can. But back to
Oh
the World
wait,
Series. They Dodgers played one hell of a game. Surprisingly, Austin Barnes, who I've talked about, I think last time I said I didn't understand Dave
yeah.
Roberts pitching, pinch hitting, but he hit well this World Series and this
Mhm.
postseason in general. But he kind of started that, which brings up the topic of Kevin Cash pulling out Blake Snell. So this is tough because for me, I'm kind of other than my DH opinion, I'm kind of old school. Like, obviously, I didn't
Mhm.
watch baseball back then because I wasn't alive. But
Whoa, really?
oh no, but you can tell by my voice, I wasn't alive back then. But yeah, but like I'm a big on push the starting pitcher unless they have injury issues, injury concerns, or they're on an innings limit due to injury. Try to push them as
Mhm.
far as you can. That's how the
Mhm.
Nats won their World Series last year. Was great starting pitching performances and good quantity of starting pitching performance. So the thing is, like, you got a couple guys to blame. So some guys are blaming Kevin Cash, which I totally understand because all this stuff
He took
about
him
you,
out after
yeah.
73 pitches.
The thing is that they don't want the analytics. I think the is who to blame. The analytic
Really?
department and Michael K show. They were going off about this, and I kind of agree with this. Now I'm not anti-analytics. I know you like analytics a lot more than I
Love him.
do, a lot more than I do. But I just don't get what's wrong when you have a Cy Young winning pitcher who's given up 2 hits, 2 singles, and he's dominated the next 3 batters. What's wrong with setting him up a third time? And look, if the next batter hits a double, then you can take him out. Or you don't want him to hit a home run, obviously. But if he starts to look, or he walks the next 2 batters or something, like, I'm not saying wait for him to fall apart, then take him out, but at least give him a shot. And the thing that bugged me the most was when Cash was coming out of the dugout. He just pointed straight to the bullpen. He just signaled straight to the
Oh,
bullpen. Didn't even
yeah.
ask
He
Snell, how
didn't
you
give him
feeling,
the
man? You
chance. Yep.
feeling good? Yeah. So I think it's tough because it seems like managers don't even like, they're not really baseball guys anymore. They're kind of just puppets to the analytic department. And I think analytics win you games in the regular season. This is my take. I don't think they win you games in the postseason, to be honest, because it's all such small sample sizes, and guys are either on or they're off in the playoffs. Look at Nick Anderson. And if you're gonna take out Blake Snell, don't put in the guy who's been struggling. And also, you can blame this on Nick Anderson because the dude had a .8, had a below 1 ERA in the regular season. He should not be giving up runs like this.
Of course not. And Nick Anderson only struck out 9 in almost 15 innings in the
Very
postseason,
much
which
unlike
is like,
him.
it's very much unlike him. And that, I definitely think that's Cash's fault. I mean, the guy hadn't been pitching well up until that point, and I don't care how well he dominated during the regular season. If he's not hot, then don't put him in.
So do you think that putting Nick Anderson is Cash's decision, or do you think that's also very an analytical thing?
Um, who did he come into face? That's really the big
Mookie
question.
Betts. Mookie Betts.
I
Here's the thing: Mookie
don't
Betts has
under
been hitting way better against righties than lefties
righties and
this year.
lefties.
Yeah.
Then
So
how is that an analytic problem? That would be just a Kevin Cash brain fart right there.
and I'm
Bringing a
still
righty against a guy who hits righties extremely well.
yeah, and I'm confident in saying that I still think Kevin Cash is the best manager in baseball. Um,
Most influential.
I think he's the best manager in baseball. Most influential is kind of more the old school guy who's won a million, like a Francona, or
All right. Well, I
like,
mean, for a new age manager, he's influential and he's extremely progressive.
who would you say is the best manager in baseball?
Um, Probably Terry Francona,
Yeah,
as you just said.
I think it's him, Cash,
Bob
and Bob
Melvin.
Melvin are my
Mhm.
big 3.
Yeah,
And
I agree
maybe
with
you want to put like Joe Madden's completely fallen off.
that.
I'm a big fan of Rocco Baldelli, um, except for he can't win a game in the playoffs, but neither can the Twins. Um, Who else is a great manager? Aaron Boone. No, I'm just kidding. Aaron Boone
Aaron
sucks, dude.
Boone.
No, he's awful.
Dang, I actually said that
You mean,
right
Brian
as you
Cashman, you
did.
mean? Yeah, Brian Cashman, manager of the New York Yankees.
I would love to see that for real. Have him play both positions. I don't care.
Be like Bill Belichick for baseball.
Yeah.
Get him wearing the uniform. Or just have Boone should just have the interview headset on, when they get interviewed, and just have that on 24/7 like a football coach, and just have Cashman up in the booth telling him what to do. So like,
Yeah, am I correct when a similar situation happened regarding the Mets last year?
Yep. I'm confident that happened. I'm so
what was that
confident that
about?
happened. So if you guys don't know what he's talking about, the rumor was, I think they were playing the Diamondbacks, that Brody Van Wagenen called in and told Callaway to took DeGrom out of the game, which, by the way, back to this
Is it
analytics stuff.
completely illegal?
I know of course, if the Mets plan to go more analytic, which I'm cool with, as long as it doesn't ruin the game. Like, I'm not old school. I'm like, oh, we need to hire Buck Showalter right now and be all old school and stuff and just be behind the league and just sign a bunch of veterans. Like, I'm not like that. But if I'm seeing DeGrom pitching a no-hitter and he's getting pulled because they don't want him facing the lineup a third time, I'm not going to be happy. Like no-hitters don't happen anymore for a reason.
Well, Blake Snell wasn't throwing necessarily a no-hitter.
Complete games don't happen anymore for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just
it's
think
not like the olden days where you can throw 87 and blow it by a guy.
That's true.
That's what I really think it comes down to. Like, the stress put on the pitcher's arm is a lot worse today than it was a while back. And there's a lot more research and studies that show like the actual information about the health of one's arm after a certain number of pitches and velocity.
That's another thing about Snell is that, like, earlier this season, he got hurt last year. He had elbow surgery, and they were limiting his pitches a few times. I don't know if they would do it in Game 6 of the playoffs. That might be a reason why.
Yeah, but they didn't do it with Strasburg, and looked how it turned out. That's just a thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. Hey, they got a World Series out of it, though.
Yeah, exactly, because they pushed him.
And then they re-signed him, he opted out. He wasn't supposed to be free agent, but that World Series performance made him a ton of money. But I just I don't think like Jason Worth on an interview a while ago talked about how he's like, we should just put laptops out there to play. A bunch of nerds in the front office playing baseball. I think that there is truth to that, but I don't think analytics are killing
an exaggeration.
The game. It's definitely an exaggeration. I don't think analytics are killing the game. I just think that people are overthinking it. I think leaving Snell in was the right move, but I don't think you should be shitting on Kevin Cash so much when it's clearly, I think
that's his game plan. That's how he's always, that's how he always does it, and it works out for him 90% of the time.
Yeah. Sometimes guys just, don't have their stuff, and Nick Anderson clearly hasn't recently. So
yeah, that was the Kevin Cash mistake.
That was
the big mistake, I should say.
And then I was watching with my dad, and he kept talking. He was like, "Oh no," and the camera would point at Blake Snell right when he got taken out, and that I think it was Betts hit a double and then a wild pitch, and then it's tough.
Yep.
But another crazy thing that happened in the World Series was so we're in the COVID season, and the season ended with a COVID controversy. So
of course it did.
So meanwhile, in the middle of the game, I saw
fucking Turner.
Yeah. Former Met, love the guy. He sucks at the Mets, but he's great with the Dodgers now. I'm a big fan of him. But
same.
I don't actually I don't have that much hate towards Justin Turner because of this, and let me explain. So there's a few issues I have what he did, but few things that I'm fine with. So if you guys don't know, Justin Turner tested positive, and he got pulled in, I think, the 8th inning. I saw Edwin Rios putting on a helmet. I
was in the shower listening to the game, and then Edwin Rios just started playing third base, and I was so confused.
So and it's not like you saw Turner, and like a lot of times when someone gets substituted for a defensive replacement or pinch hit, you'll
They'll
see
just
him.
be
They
on the
might pan
bench.
to the dugout. You'll see him on the bench. None of that. So it seemed like Turner just completely disappeared. And then when they won the game, he was nowhere to be found. So after they won the game, they went to commercial, and then you could see the reporting. It wasn't the like A-Rod, Big Poppy, and Frank Thomas, Big Hurt. It wasn't that crew. It was some other crew. Um, and he just said he reported that there's a positive case. I'm like, dude, that must suck for poor Justin Turner, man. Like he's I think like a 9-year veteran. He's been on the a
Yeah.
12-year veteran. He's been on the Dodgers for 7 years or something like that.
Finally
He
get a ring
finally
and be
won a ring
pulled.
after being screwed by 2 cheating teams. Now one team didn't cheat that extensively, especially
Mhm.
compared to the other one, but he got screwed out. Definitely got screwed out of one of them, and
Definitely.
so like poor guy, man. So I didn't find out that he went back on the field until today. We're recording this the day after, so because
Mhm.
we're not going to be staying up till like 3 a.m. after recording. So I saw that and I was shocked about that. Now it's not a good look, but
Oh.
obviously if his teammates were okay with him going on the field, then like it's not like a Cardinals or Marlins situation where you're potentially gonna cause an end to the season because the season's already over. But
Mhm.
when I saw him taking pictures without a mask and close to guys,
Right
I was just
next.
like,
No,
what a
no. This is
fucking
what
idiot.
really ticked me off. Not only did he not have the mask on super close to anybody, but he was right next to Dave Roberts, the cancer survivor,
Oh, right.
elderly man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I didn't
That
know he was a
is,
cancer survivor, really.
yes.
How old is he? He's
Mid
not like,
60s.
let me look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the issue I had. Like, if you want to be there, um, like at least definitely have a mask. Oh, he's 48.
Oh, he's only 48. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. He's not like a Francona or like a Ron Gardenhire. He's not like one
Mhm.
of those super old managers. But anyways, if it's a cancer survivor, yeah. So
That's horrible.
it could have been a false positive. I doubt it is. He said he's not feeling any symptoms. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have it. But yeah, the fact he didn't have a mask on, the fact that he was so close to everyone,
Mhm.
which I didn't realize that. I think the whole like 60-man roster is considered a World Series champ. Like I saw Gavin Lux on the field. I'm like, where the hell has that guy been all year? And so I this so there's a guy on the Dodgers 40-man, 60-man, whatever it's called, named Luke Raley, who one of my first games, Rochester Red Wings, which is our minor league team, I saw him hit a home run. I'm like, oh, Luke, he's so good. And then he was in the Twins system, and then he got traded in the Bruce Dark trade
Mhm.
back to the Dodgers. He actually was in the Dodgers system. And then he got traded for Brian Dozier. So he's like the player I know about that no one's ever heard of, that it's like, that's my guy. So I saw a picture of him on his Instagram, like he's a world champ. I'm like, well, like you didn't really
He
play,
basically
but
carried the Dodgers to that
yeah,
World Series.
Luke Raley, MVP man. Corey Seager, screw
Woohoo!
you. Yeah, Luke Raley.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
why
guess
that's why Manfred was stuttering the whole time because he was
okay.
trying to
I
hold back the tears, not giving the MVP to Rayleigh.
Do you want to get into that, or do you have anything else to say about Justin Turner?
I think next year he should have a 10 to 15 game suspension
Here's the
because
thing, though. The
he was the
MLB
only
knew
one.
about it, and no, the Dodgers let him play.
I also think the organization should be fined heavily along with Turner.
Imagine if the Rays didn't win tonight. I don't know if this
That's
season
what
would,
I was saying.
this series, or if the Rays were to win last night, the season would
Game
have to
7
continue
without Turner.
without the whole Dodgers if the whole team tests positive.
That's another thing. They can't postpone it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's
What are you gonna play your backup squad? You're gonna play Luke Raley and Gavin Lux and your
woohoo.
Iver Ruiz. That'd be actually a fun game. Lux, Ruiz, all the
Yeah, it would probably be
prospects.
scoreless in the 18th inning.
Yeah, but yeah, that's nuts. So Rob Manfred, what the hell happened? Well, I know what happened to him. So So it sounded like he was having like a medical episode. He sounded like he was drunk, but I actually know what happened. So shout out to Fuzzy, the YouTuber. He said that has like a speech issue whenever he has like an earpiece or like whenever he hears himself talk, or like there's a slight delay in playback. I don't know what the hell it is, but I also insert a clip. I don't know what was going on with him,
So it's
especially
kind of like just confusion, almost state of
something like
confusion.
that. Dude, I don't know. I was so confused. I found out about this morning. And he was getting booed like crazy, which made me really happy.
Yeah, that was the
It was
first
like
pause.
It
I
was like
thought the
Roger
first pause was pretty normal.
and like I think it really got to him, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
Like, Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, it's become a tradition where on the draft where he goes up to the podium, everyone boos him. Now, did you watch the draft this year?
I did not.
So at the beginning, because of COVID, they did a virtual draft, and he did it in his basement. And at the beginning, he started talking, and then all just videos of fans booing. And so behind him, he had like this TV that during when the teams were about to make their pick, he had like virtual fans, like how the NBA does theirs, where like they have the virtual fans. Like they had that for the draft. So it just showed all of them booing. It was hilarious. And it's just become a meme at this point. But man, Manfred is like, he's not ready
Not
for
used
it.
to
So,
it. Yeah.
and like, seeing him hand out the piece of metal, the commissioners, when he's like, I'm honored to give you the commissioner's trophy. And I was like, what is it? Just a piece of metal? It's just like, yeah. So I guess I saw a clip of him like getting interviewed a while ago in a broadcast booth with a thing, with a headset on or something. So don't give him a headset, whatever you do. Maybe get a new commissioner. I wouldn't hate that, to be honest. I think we've made that pretty clear. We talked about Rob Manfred at literally all of our videos. So moving on.
I mean, hey, he's consistent.
Oh yeah, consistent with shit. All right, so moving on to MLB news. So a few free agent rumors, reports, stuff like that. So first one is JT Realmuto. So I saw a retweet, well, like a post of a tweet on Instagram today that someone from Oklahoma, where he's from, said that he wants to return to Philly and isn't keen on playing in New York. Now, I don't know how true that is. I have the tweet.
He played in Miami.
So, per J.S. Salisbury, NBCS, JT Realmuto would prefer to stay in Philadelphia, and is not particularly keen on playing in New York. Make that what you will. Hashtag Phillies, hashtag Mets, hashtag LGM. For your information, we do FGM now. Thanks, Pete Alonso.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
So you can't take this. You kind of have to take this with an obvious grain of salt. I think money talks. If a New York team gives him a $200 million deal, which he wants, which would be a huge mistake. I don't see either team doing it. I don't think either team should do it. But I don't think he's going back to Philly. I don't think they want him. Now, the GM got fired or he stepped down, something like that. I don't know if they want him back just for at least with that price tag. With the catcher position, it's just like it's like the opposite.
Too inconsistent.
It's like in the NFL, which I know we make too many football. At least I make too many football connections. But a lot of people understand football more than baseball. So a lot of times you don't pay the running back because they're not going to age well, but they're replaceable. Like running back's the most replaceable position in the sport. Catchers, especially good offensive catchers, are literally impossible to find. Now, there's more nowadays than there was like 3 years ago, but they're getting harder and harder to find. But they don't age well, especially when you're being in that squatted position.
Yeah.
There's only a few, Yachty, Posey, but those guys don't hit well anymore either.
Yeah, they're pretty ineffective with the bat.
Yeah. Like, luckily, Yadier Molina's still a pretty good defender, but yeah, all that stress on your legs, all that, like, it's tough. So it's almost like in football, corners, like, you pay them because they're hard to find, but once they hit 30, they're pretty much done. And that seems to be the case with a lot of like older corners. My New York Jets learned that the hard way with Tremaine Johnson. So it's definitely a risk. I don't think anyone's going to give him the money. I could see a potential situation where season starts, he's unsigned, like what happened with Craig Kimbrell, how he won like a 6-year deal. And look how that turned out, which I think it's a 3-year deal with the Cubs.
That's the analytics department right there at its
yeah,
best.
but I don't see him going back to Philly as much as I'm happy to say that. I really don't think he's going to go back to Philly. When you look at teams that need a catcher and that can spend the money on a catcher, who are you thinking?
I think the best place for him would be the Mets because now here's my philosophy. If the Mets, all of their hard throwers, ditch the sinker, like the Pirates, that's what kept so many pitchers in the Pirates from becoming so successful in the mid-2010s.
They can't make them successful on other teams.
Exactly, because the other teams don't throw fucking sinkers. You throw a bunch of four-seam fastballs just off the plate because JT can frame like hell.
Yep.
The pitching staff would elevate so hard because who are they playing behind the plate? Ramos? What's he going to do? Nito's pretty good defensively.
He's a great behind the plate. He can't throw out a runner save. He's basically Tyler Flowers, but minus the hitting. He can't throw out a run, or Travis d'Arnaud. He can't, both Braves catchers, obviously, can't throw out a runner, save his life, but he's super fun to watch, like, defensively. And his pads his gear looks really cool too. But I don't know. I know that doesn't mean anything, but hockey style helmet.
Give him $1 million.
He wears the hockey helmet, which I'm into. That's why I want James McCann over Realmuto, because I think the hockey helmet looks cooler. No, I'm just kidding. But two-piece is cool too. But yeah, you were saying?
I'm saying, like, you give the Mets a bit more defense and JT Realmuto. That's not just a post.
Not Muto. Realmuto.
I said Realmuto.
Muto? It's Realmuto.
My bad.
Yeah.
Realmuto. So you give them a bit more defense and Realmuto, then you got more than just a post.
We are not doing that. We're gonna this offseason. We're gonna bring him up a lot more. Well, I guess it is the offseason now, but we're gonna bring him up a lot more. We're not doing that shit, man.
I think with those additions, the Mets not only could make the playoffs, but maybe even the NLCS. You're hoping for the World Series.
We could win it all with the. Now, I think they should prioritize Bauer. That's my opinion, because you get that. There's a reason they made it to where they did in 2015. They had one of the best rotations, like, of the decade.
That's what they're built on.
Yeah, and that's why they sucked last year, is because all their starters got hurt, sucked,
and nobody can field a fucking ground ball.
Except Jimenez. He's gonna be our everyday shortstop, I think. He's a monster.
One player isn't gonna carry a defense.
Dom Smith, baby.
He's not that good.
Yeah, I know, he plays first base, but
exactly.
Hey man, if you play if someone trades for Cano, you get McNeil over there, and Davis improved a ton defensively, so
he's still average at best.
Yeah. He's just average, maybe slightly above average. He's not like maybe I'd tie him with who's like a third baseman that's like decent defensively, but not
Bryant.
No, Bryant's a much better defender than him. Maybe like he's not Rafael Devers bad. He's not Alec
Devers
Bohm
isn't that bad.
He's terrible. No, he's awful.
He's sloppy as hell, but he can
awful.
get to balls.
He's terrible. I know you watch him more than I do, but in the Mets series, you couldn't field that position to save his life. Slightly above average defender. Didn't hit amazing last year, but completely broke out in 19. I like him a lot. You could always play McNeil at third base. I think luckily
McNeil.
Our pitching staff, yeah, I do too. Luckily our pitching staff doesn't really rely on ground balls. Like DeGrom, not at all. He strikes literally everyone out.
Yeah, that's you want to know why? Because he throws four-seam fastballs and none of that sinker shit.
And he started throwing triple digit last year.
Yeah, in the sliders at 94 and
92.
95.
92, 94 slider and changeup.
The changeup's the
Changeups
fastest
in
I
the
think I've ever
90s. Yeah.
seen.
I think it's probably might be the second best changeup in the league.
Who do you got number one? Strasburg?
Castillo. No, Luis
Oh
Castillo.
my God,
It's
I'm so
literally a
stupid.
left-handed
Wait,
slider.
what about Devin Williams?
Oh. I'd put Castillo number one. Dude,
All
it's
right.
literally a left-handed slider. Like the way it comes and the
Yeah,
way he
he gets
throws
so
too.
much lateral movement
Yeah.
on it.
But I'd love to have Realmuto. I'd rather have Trevor Bauer. Now, part of that's also like when I'm not watching baseball, if he's making these vlogs with all the Mets guys, like you can imagine like Pete Alonso, like there's boys just chilling in the clubhouse. Like I love the Reds so much with this because of his series. Like I know all the guys. I'm like, oh, it's Winker and Lorenzen and all his guys.
Oh yeah, Michael Lorenzen's great at social media.
Oh yeah.
One of the best
What's
in
the
the
thing
game.
he does? The Zen Den.
Yeah,
He did like
Zenden.
the whole he did like Syndergaard, all sorts of guys. But so other news is I found another tweet. Bad Astros rumors, good for us.
Oh,
For
I've seen this
Astros
one. Yep.
haters. Hearing George Springer does not want to return to the Astros. Owner has said before that re-signing him was top priority, but nothing ever materialized. Now this owner's a fucking idiot. He said that cheating didn't affect the game. They just got caught breaking the rules. So he's an idiot. So of course re-signing was top priority, but that's not going to happen. Would be a huge loss for Houston. Top offensive bat / strong defender at premium position. Best free agent bat in my opinion. I think he is now, especially now that Mookie Betts isn't a free. Well, he hasn't been a free agent for a while, but he was supposed to be the guy
Never
this
will be.
offseason.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to hit free agency, but that's part of the reason he wanted to leave the Red Sox because he wanted to hit free agency. So I think Red Sox fans still love him though. He got them a ring, you know. But
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of Mets fans are saying they want George Springer. I'd be down for him, but Mets fans, hear me out. So I love Brandon Nimmo too, but my God, do fans overrate him? I know he gets on base like crazy, but he's the worst, one of the worst center fielders I've ever seen. You can play him in a corner spot, but also you got to understand who is he replacing. So think about this. So the other guy's playing.
Keon Broxton.
Shut up. If you sign George Springer, he's your center fielder, and you're assuming you're going to move Nimmo to left. So now where do you put Jeff McNeil? You put him at third. Now where do you put JD Davis? Or second, but Cano's going to be playing there. Unless he DHs, which
DHs.
He said he hates DHing, but if he's a liability in the field, then too bad, man. But no, he can't. I don't think he can DH because if he has to DH, then you're putting Dom Smith out in left field, which he's not horrible, but he's not good. So
where Dom? Oh, you're right.
He play first base. Pete Alonso's your DH.
Oh yeah.
And they'd alternate on like rest days and stuff. But I think if you sign George Springer, you first of all you should trade Ahmed Rosario if you're going to sign another bat, because where does he fit? He's your shortstop. I don't think he's going to be playing shortstop anymore. You maybe move.
He can't play shortstop.
Yeah, you maybe move him out, especially with Jimenez. You maybe move him. Jimenez literally does everything the Mets suck at. He's amazing fielder, great on the bases, steals bases, which the Mets are really slow and they don't steal bases. And
it's not that important.
It's not that important, but like good base running is important.
If you're trying to manufacture a single run.
Yeah.
But if you want to manufacture like 10 runs, then you probably shouldn't be wasting outs.
That's true. But base running is not just stolen bases. It's like
obviously
smart.
Oh yes.
Like we had so many dumb outs on the bases this last year. Like it was frustrating. But yeah, I think if you want George Springer, which I don't know if I want him just because he was an Astro. I know he's a great player, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hypocritical to root for the guy who's a cheater.
Yeah.
Like it's tough, man. But I don't see him going to the Mets. I think Mets fans I know Steve Cohen's, coming in, going to spend money. He's the richest owner in the league. but you're not going to get. It's not a good idea to try to get Bauer, Realmuto, and George Springer because we have a super young team. But most
There's
of those
no way you're
guys,
getting all
when are you
three.
going to be able to pay those guys? I rather
Yeah.
pay I rather pay my own guys than I don't want to let like Jeff McNeil walk because I got 200 million tied into JT Realmuto. So
Mhm.
George Springer, where do you think he ends up?
George Springer, I think he's going to go back to the Astros. And the reason I say that is because I know how much he doesn't want to go back to the Astros, but just the negative publicity that he would bring with him, and I think that's going to bring down his like asking price a lot. Whereas the Astros are definitely willing to pay him. I don't, like you said, the Mets don't want him because, well, he's going to get booed a lot. And I think that's going to make his value decrease severely with other teams. And you're going to see this a lot, especially with Carlos Correa. I don't think there's a single chance that Correa could go anywhere but the Astros.
I don't think he wants to go anywhere but the Astros. Like he's the most like passionate guy on that team who just doesn't shut up. I
Even
actually
if he
think
did want to go somewhere else, though,
I have a
he
bold
would not
prediction
be
for
able to.
Springer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he goes to the Red Sox because he's from Connecticut, so that's kind of in a similar
Oh,
area.
and JBJ's leaving.
JBJ is probably gonna be gone. You need to find another good outfielder, so that's a pretty solid outfield. If you got Springer in center, Benintendi, who I know hasn't been great recently, but he's a decent player, and left Verdugo and right, that's a pretty solid outfield.
That's a very solid outfield.
And if Cora's coming back to the Red Sox, which I think it might happen, that's quite the connection there. So I think he might go to the Red Sox, the other cheating team, if you will, or he goes back to Houston. But I don't. It says he doesn't want to go back. So
I just don't think we're going to see many teams willing to pay for him. The teams that have the budget to do it aren't really compelled to do it.
do you think he'll take a pay cut to go to another team?
Perhaps, perhaps,
Yeah.
perhaps,
he
perhaps.
he might just want to clean up his reputation, man. Like it sucks. Like, and I know
Definitely.
some of these guys didn't want to cheat, but I still don't care. You're a cheater. You won a World
Yeah.
Series because of it.
You're
You
not
see those
changing.
videos. I know there's a video of like at spring training, guy was like, "Yo, George," he's like, "When you giving that ring back, you know you don't deserve it." And I'm like,
I've seen
"Of
all
course
of
he doesn't
those.
deserve it. Yeah, deserve it, of course." So
Uh,
yeah, George
if
Springer.
I had to make another guess though, center field is like a position that teams build a lot around.
It's also one of the weakest positions in the league. Like a lot of
No,
teams
not
don't have
really.
great center fielders.
It's either you have a pretty shitty center fielder.
Like a great defender, bad or good hitter, or a great defender, or shit hitter. Like, well, Kiermaier, I don't wouldn't say it's like the shittiest hitter, but he's kind of definition of that. Like I
Well,
don't know, like
the Rays cannot afford Springer.
no, I'm not saying he's gonna go there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying in the league, in the MLB, you got a lot of good defenders who can't hit. You got
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good hitters who can't defend, like a corner outfielder playing center field, like Brandon Nimmo,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of got it. It hopefully it's going to be getting better soon. It
What if
just
he went
seems
to
like
San Diego? You
I don't.
move Grisham to left. Keep
They can't. They don't. They do not have that money because you're paying Machado
mm-hmm.
for another 11 year or like 10 years. You're paying Hosmer for another I think 6 years.
Oh,
Tatis
I'm pretty sure there's not that many years left on his contract.
you're gonna have to pay
Hosmer.
Clevenger. You're gonna have to pay. Well, I think he's got 2 more years. I think Tatis. What does he have? Like four? I mean, like 6 or 7. I don't know how it
Yeah.
works. Um,
It's rookie contracts. You have 3 years of renewable, which is basically where you see guys be paid around 500K to two
they make
million, maybe three.
around the minimum, and then they get
Yeah, and
and then you
then
get
they
arbitration.
have
So you're
3 years of
pre-arb, and then
arbitration.
3 years arbitration, and then you hit the market. So
Yeah.
they might pay Tatis early. Look at all these teams like the White Sox are paying all their guys before they even hit the majors. They're paying them early. Like at the rate
Mm-hmm.
Tatis is going, he might get a I don't know, but I wouldn't say Mike Trout contract, but you might make more than Machado did.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I'm just going through. I don't really see a team that could really want him or afford him.
a lot of teams that have bad center field play are also like smaller market teams, like
Exactly. The big
well, not
market
smaller
teams
markets or
don't
like
need.
rebuilding teams. Like the Orioles or the Tigers aren't going to throw money at George Springer.
Maybe the Indians, if because their
They're not.
outfield is so
They don't
bad.
spend money.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
There's just
that'd be a great
no.
fit.
It would be such a good fit.
But
That's
you just
just the situation. Unless the Phillies want to go out and buy George Springer, I don't see him going anywhere
that's a good
else.
fit. That's a good fit, honestly, because who do you got? You have Adam Hazley or Roman Quinn over there. Like they're not good.
Roman Quinn can just like bunt to a 500 batting
Oh, he can
average, and
fly, but
then
he's surprisingly for a guy as fast as him, he's a really bad defender. Like
really,
there was a Mets game. I think it was like Spencer. First time we faced Spencer Howard, he just ran in and turned around. The ball landed behind him.
oh, I've done that before. Oh my God, that's the worst feeling in the
I think he
world.
lost it in the lights or something. But
Yeah, line drive right at you kind of
no,
thing.
it was just a fly ball, and
What?
he ran in on it. It was a kind of a short fly ball. Well, to him it was a short fly ball clearly, but yeah, just ran in on it and then turned around. Ball. It's like what happened to Hunter Pence. You know, did you see that play?
Oh,
Yeah.
or like the opposite of the Ozuna play.
What Ozuna play? Like when he climbed the fence and the ball ended
Climb
up
the
in front of
fucking
him,
wall.
and then the
Yeah,
ball ended up in front of him. Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much the opposite of that. But so I think the Indians would be a great fit, but I don't think it's going to happen because they traded for Delino DeShields, who, check out this segue, who was traded for Corey Kluber, who was rumored to have his option declined. So when that trade happened, I thought the Indians, you know, you guys are fucking idiots, which it was still a stupid trade because you could have gotten so much more. You're lucky
Definitely.
he barely pitched last year because you
Mhm.
could have gotten more than defensive outfielder and reliever who was
Em-
suspended, but who throws.
Emmanuel
Who what does he throw?
Clase.
Like 100 mile, like a 101
102
cutters,
mile, 101
right?
mile cutter.
That's nuts. But
He didn't even
he didn't
strike out
pitch
like
last
nine per
year.
nine. Yeah.
He barely pitched. Well, I know he had a big PED suspension, but Corey Kluber's rumored to have his option declined, club option declined, making him a free agent. It sucks because he's really fun to watch pitch, but he's been hurt the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I think he gets like a 2-year deal somewhere. Um,
Ooh, I think
I don't
there's a
want to see.
1 year deal coming.
Well, I don't want the Mets to sign him. I love Kluber, but I don't want to
He's
take
not
that.
a good fit.
Yeah, I don't want to take that risk really.
It's not only such a big risk, but back into ground balls and strikeout rates, there would be an inflated ERA if Kluber went to the Mets. And I can talk about this subject all day long.
You do talk about it all day long.
It's so hard to watch the Mets blow such good players. Somehow, some way, they just can't figure it out every single year. I'm so sorry.
Thanks. You know, we made some more World Series this past decade. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I got to do that, dude. I hate when I just pulled my biggest pet peeve when I'm telling someone their team sucks or their team lost, and I'm just reading them like numbers, like, oh, Aaron Judge is hurt again. Oh well, you're a Mets fan, and they're not good. And 27 World Series and
Series is
series is, and I'm like, yeah, you haven't won one in like more than 10 years. First of all, you haven't made one in more than 10 years. Secondly, and I guess I'm not allowed to read stats. So Detroit Tigers fans and Pittsburgh Pirate fans aren't allowed to watch baseball. Like they're not allowed to analyze a player. Like urinating tree can't talk shit about the Mets like he always does. It's like Buffalo Bills fans are the definition of that. I tell them, "Oh, you guys lost. Ha ha." Well, you're 0-8. I'm well aware of that. But
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you guys were only 0-7.
Oh, Okay, we're playing next week though. Kansas City. Yeah, we're 0-8. We're 0-16 at this point. But all right, so
Embrace the tank.
embrace the tank. So back to baseball. We're gonna get into our obviously this is Big Apple Baseball Banter. We talk Mets and Yankees, so we're gonna get into our Mets and Yankees segments. I'll start it off with some New York Mets news. So we claimed Robel Garcia, who's an outfielder, who played on the Cubs. I don't know anything about him. And they DFA'd Ryan Cordell. I hate this move because I actually like Ryan Cordell. He's stupid fast. Really good center fielder. I think he could have been like if the rosters are more than 26 this year, I think he could have been a fifth outfielder for. And if you can't bring back Marisnik too, then he could be your fourth outfielder because you could have, at the end of the game, if you got two of your outfielders, let's say you got McNeil, and if they're not going to be hitting again, you could get, Marisnik, Cordell, and Conforto out in the outfield. Like, that's pretty sweet to have. So I guess Robel Garcia is a defensive outfielder. That would make sense. Maybe we got a diamond in the rough, but it's a waiver claim. Who cares? So the big news is we declined 3 club options. So Wilson Ramos, Todd Frazier, and Robinson Chirinos. I'm really happy about all of these. But, of course, there's a damn buyout on Frazier and Chirinos, so we got at the freaking deadline when we didn't need them. Like Chirinos is basically Wilson Ramos light. Like, he's not a good defensive catcher, and he hit like shit last year. Like, he's a better defensively than Ramos, like anyone is. But like my grandma's better defensive catcher than him.
Nice.
And probably faster than him too.
Probably.
But they're basically the same player. I didn't understand that trade, and I didn't like Todd Frazier. Like, what is he like? He's a good clubhouse guy. I don't give a shit. Yeah. So they're all free agents now. Catcher's a huge hole, obviously, but we have a couple ways of addressing that. We'll get to that another day. But and then Brad Brock and Dylan Betances are rumored to pick up their player options. Betances, I expected. He pitched like shit last year. He was hurt a lot too. If he's not going to hit free agency, and he's going to make like the minimum basically because he hasn't been good in 2 years. I really like Betances though, and I see him having a bounce back year.
Definitely, the stuff is still there.
Absolutely, it's just he's got to tone down the walks a bit. That's always been an issue. I'm not expecting him to start like just not walking anyone, but he just needs to stay healthy. Needs to stop. He gave up gave up. I think he had like a 6 ERA. Just needs to clean that up. But I like Betances. Brad Brock didn't have a very good year, but he's a good depth piece, and he's grew up a huge Mets fan as a kid. He even went to a Mets game when he was a Baltimore Oriole, and in 2015 he went to a World Series game as a Mets fan. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, any Yankee news?
Not very new, interesting news other than like Boone's going to be back next year. Glaber might not be our starting shortstop next year.
Thank God.
Well, I mean, that depends on if DJ comes back or if he doesn't come back.
I was talking to my friend who's a Yankee fan. I said you should trade Glaber Torres for Francisco Lindor.
1 year of Lindor.
You pay him afterwards.
Oh, that's very tough. I would much rather keep Glaber and then trade him next offseason when we can get Lindor, because that would just make it so much easier, and then we wouldn't necessarily have to rely on buying him back at the next offseason. Because I would rather be left with either Glaber than nothing if he does sign with another team.
Where does Glaber play though if he's not playing shortstop? Will you move him to the outfield? Like
second.
Well, where does DJ LeMahieu play?
Well, like I said, if DJ doesn't come back,
I think he's coming back.
I swear, if he does not come back, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. It's as simple as that.
No, I'm confident to say he's gonna come back.
Same. I want to say that, but I mean, it's not set in stone, so
Yeah,
I'm
it's free
still
agency. It never is.
terrified.
Yeah, but if DJ comes back, where does he play? Like I
Uh,
was before this year, I'm like, what do you move him to? Like he spends a he spends a winter in the Dominican, like learning a new position. Where you move him to third? Not anymore.
he already plays third.
Urshela's a stud now. You move him to first.
He
Luke's
already
a
plays
stud now.
first.
So what? Left field. You don't have a great option
Yeah,
out in left field.
Guardy is a free agent,
You think
and
you want him back?
if we can get him for
We'll
like
get to that,
four,
but all right, let's go to our segment. Let's start with the Yankees. We always start with Mets, so let's go.
cool.
All your impending free agents, whether you want them back or not. If you say no, where do you think they're gonna go, and how many years / amount of money you would want to give them?
All right, so I'm not gonna do all like the single A and double A players.
Oh
That,
no, no,
yeah, of course
God,
not.
no.
This
And some
video would
guys
take
like
too long.
maybe some of the guys like the well-known veterans who came in on like a minor league deal, like for us, Eduardo Nunez. You can talk
Yeah,
about them, but like
yeah, I have
these
said that.
guys, Mark Cross, Mitch Atkins, never heard of them.
Mitch Atkins, I love that guy.
What starting pitcher? He's 35.
Yeah,
Shit, you can have him. You can have him. Yeah, we'll let
you
him
should
walk.
see
You can
this
have him.
guy in the cages. He rakes.
He's a pitcher.
I know.
Oh, he's a good hitting pitcher. Oh, maybe he can be a Jose Bautista, become a two-way player.
I swear, if he's got to come back, please. Blue
All right,
Jays for the meme,
you
for
can
the
have
meme.
him. You can have him. Oh, Bautista. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, that'd be great.
just playing
We are his
Rochester
second.
once.
We're his second to last team.
Huh.
The
Oh,
Mets.
well,
Signed him
he
and
sucked
traded
with
him.
you guys.
Oh, he's terrible. All right, go.
All right. So we got Masahiro Tanaka. I'll go one by one. I think he's probably going to ask for around 10 to 12 million a year, and he's a solid 3-4 spot in a rotation. So, I mean, I'm kind of neutral when it comes to Tanaka. If we can get him for 2 years, around $21 million, I will definitely take it. But if he asks for anything more than 24 million across 2 years, or a deal longer than two, I'd definitely just let him walk.
How old is he?
He is 32.
I think 3 years wouldn't be egregious. I just think the tough thing, if you're gonna let him walk, who are you replacing him with? Like, I'm not big on.
Domingo Germán's back.
Really, you take him over Tanaka?
Well, I mean, obviously
I
there's
thought he
free
retired.
agencies. He said he did, and then it turns out he didn't actually retire, and he
Because
was
he got
just
like
activated.
suspended for another full year because he's an asshole.
Yeah, he hit his wife.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Him and
Yeah.
he can go hang with Julio Urias and Aroldis Chapman and Jerry's Familia. All the assholes.
The Yankees pitching staff is full of
wife
the
beaters.
bitch slappers.
Oh my god. So, I think Tanaka will be back. I don't really imagine him in another. I don't know. It's just like a lot of.
He wouldn't look good in another uniform. Let's be honest.
I don't. I think pitching is the one guy. The one, like that's my issue with the Indians. How what their rotation would be now if they didn't trade everyone. Like homegrown starting pitching or like good starting pitching that like they had their prime with you is like the guys you should prioritize keeping. Like I know Trevor Bauer wasn't originally an Indian. I know Corey Kluber wasn't originally an Indian, but like
Tanaka wasn't originally a Yankee.
Who was he with originally?
I'm pretty sure he played in the Korean leagues.
No, I know
and
that.
that's why we gave him so much.
Yeah, I know that, but he didn't play for another like affiliated ball team.
Yeah,
no.
That's true.
Okay,
sure.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. You want to go like back and forth one by one, or should we just go down the list?
Let's just do you go Yankees and then we'll do Mets.
All right. LeMahieu, obviously, like I said, I want a 3 to 4 year deal, 60 to 70 million.
31, right? Yeah. I think you could go 4 years with him. Like a guy who's a contact hitter, he's not reliant on speed. He's not reliant on power. I think he'll age pretty well.
his pop's right.
But he's not a power hitter. Like he'll hit home runs, but like
they're
that's not
pretty
it. That's
cheapies
not
into
yeah.
right.
And
I
he plays in
will.
Yankee Stadium. Like
Yeah.
he's a really good opposite field hitter. He's a right hand hitter. You know, that right field porch might help a little bit, but yeah, no, that should be a priority of this offseason.
Overpay him so much. Just make sure he comes back.
Yeah.
That is my one thing to say.
That's your leadoff hitter, man. You can't let him go.
He is the Rock.
When Judge is always hurt.
Yeah.
I will not shut up about that until he plays a full season.
I mean, he did play a full season once, and I mean, he was like the best hitter in the league.
Again.
Brett Gardner, if we can get him for like 1 year and less than $5 million,
get him for the vet minimum.
Yeah,
probably could. Who else wants him?
Exactly. Yeah,
I don't think he wants to go anywhere else. I'd say I think Brett Gardner, he either comes back or he's retiring. He's not going anywhere else.
Yeah, there's no way he's going somewhere else.
Or he comes back and retires after this year, like Alex Gordon. Like he's not like he was a free agent last year, but he's not leaving the Royals, and he ended up retiring. So.
Yeah, it's one of those three. There's no way he's going anywhere else.
J-Hap. Would you want him back?
Would I want him back? Like I said, I want him back if we can get him for less than $5 million over 1 year, just so we can have that good guy in the clubhouse with, still decent speed, solid speed, and a decent glove. That's really it.
If I were a Yankee fan, I'd only want him back if the rosters didn't go back down at like 26, 25. Like I'd rather have that roster spot for like a legit player than like a clubhouse guy. I'm not saying that he's not a legit player. Like he's obviously going to get playing time, but I'd rather see like a Clint Frazier play every day.
Oh, definitely.
I
do not want Gardy being a starting left fielder.
I think he'll be your starting left fielder now. Now that he's improved his defense so much.
Yep.
So, you said who's next? J-Hap? I know the answer to this.
3 words. Fuck J-Hap. Burn in hell. Leave.
He pitched a gem against my Mets, though. Remember that?
Oh, he did. He was.
And then you guys blew it.
Filthy.
And then you blew it.
Regular season.
And then you blew it.
But you know what I said from day one? I said from day one to everybody who asked me, J-Hap is a ticking fucking time bomb. That is going to implode.
He's
he's very old. I'm pretty sure 38.
I think 38. I'm looking up 38. Where's he been his whole career? Like I know he's
Toronto,
Blue Jays, Seattle. Like
basically nowhere.
It would have taken 10 years in the minors or something.
Who knows? Either way, though, like I do want to say. The Yankees did not have an easy route to the postseason this year, and he was very solid during the regular season. But, I mean, I really think he got lucky for most of the time. And then, like, once he actually played the Rays when it mattered most, for some fucking reason, the home runs came back. Who knows why?
Yep.
We'll probably never know. But they did. And he and Boone need to get the fuck out as soon as possible.
Boone's staying.
I know. I said that earlier, but after this year.
I've told so many Yankee fans that Boone's not good. I did convince a Yankee fan that Greg Bird wasn't good.
What the hell?
I think he's more of a casual fan. No, I said
casual fan. How does he even know who Greg Bird is?
That's true. He had some hype at first. I said
in 2016.
I think I said the worst player on the Mets isn't as bad as the worst player on the Yankees. Like who? I'm like Greg Bird. He sucks. Part of it is big fan of Draft Neck Mark, and that's like a meme on his channel. He talks about how Greg Bird and Todd Frazier, the two best players in baseball.
Draft Neck Mark.
Yeah, and he did like a because they both signed with the Rangers, and he was like, he talked about like Todd Frazier because he's a really nice guy. He's from New Jersey. He played in the Little League World Series. He met Derek Jeter, and then he's like, Greg Bird's the best first baseman in baseball. He's like, the playoffs against the Indians, he hit a home run. Like, whoa. But yeah, You guys should bring back Greg Bird.
Big facts. Him and Derek Dietrich. Get
They're
all
both
the
on
Rangers
now.
players over here.
Yeah. Get Joey Gallo in the building.
No, don't pick Gallo. He would just be too boring to watch. I'm sorry.
He would go off in Yankee Stadium though. That right.
Yeah, if he actually hit the ball.
In 2019 he started to make a little more contact. He was hitting like I think 250.
I thought he was hitting like 300 at one point.
Yeah, at one point
before the All-Star
break. He got
break.
hurt. Yeah.
So it is there.
Yeah,
it's there. But he hasn't shown that he can keep it.
Yeah. All right, so next player?
James Paxton.
Oh, this is tough.
I really enjoyed watching him in 2019, but I think we have to let him walk here. He's just too injury prone, and he's probably going to be asking for too much. Because Cashman did say in an interview that they're kind of looking to keep back on the money spent this offseason.
That's smart. Like what I've said before, when Judge and Torres and Urshela, like these guys come
prepping
up for
the
contract.
future.
Exactly.
In about 3 years, they're all about to hit the market.
Well, you could sign Paxton for 3 years. This is why I would bring him back, and this is kind of why I think the Phillies need to bring JT Realmuto back. Well, I don't think they will, and I don't want them to. When you trade for a guy, like what you had to give up is tough. And like I'm not saying Justice Sheffield is like this amazing pitcher.
He was solid last year.
He's a good pitcher, and he's a young guy with a ton of potential. Like you got 2 years of James, 1.5 years.
1 year,
Paxton.
not even a half,
1 year,
just one.
Basically 1 year of James. Did he even pitch last year?
This year you mean?
This year, yeah.
He made 2 starts and was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because I know before the season got delayed, he had like a back issue.
And then an elbow issue.
Yeah, which is like the worst issue to have for a pitcher.
Yeah. Back is also terrible for him because if you've seen his windup before, it's
it's weird. Yeah, it's like
back
it's like an Alex Wood
heavy on the back.
Yeah. I would bring him back, just not for a crazy price, but also
he's asking for that.
But he might. Here's the thing: when guys have down years, they might want to come back for a 1 year deal.
That is what I was about to get to.
Yeah,
like Didi, how he signed with the Phillies. If he is looking for that and is not just like trusting his ability and getting that multi-year deal, then I could definitely see him bringing him back. But that's not necessarily like the biggest, situation that I think would happen the most.
So
I worded that terribly. My bad.
Yeah. So if you don't bring back, Tanaka, let's say you bring back Tanaka, you let Happ and Paxton walk. You're going to be Cole, Severino for part of the year, but Tommy John, it usually takes you a little bit of time to recover. Like
just a little.
Well, no. I mean, like in the beginning of the season, like you're not going to be on.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So you got him, Tanaka, Montgomery, Loizaga. Like you got to sign someone.
Herman.
Yeah. Coming out of retirement.
That's right. He's back.
It's not a good rotation anymore because before everyone got hurt, they had one of the best rotations in the league last year.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Which is very.
But it wasn't like before they got injured. It was like there wasn't a single game during the season in which they had that rotation.
Oh yeah, I know. Because Severino went out. Paxton went out.
Severino, Tanaka was out with a concussion for the first 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, that was crazy. What happened with him?
Yeah.
Of course, Stan hit it, and it's like the most power in the game.
Yep. I think they said it was either 121 or 101.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Something like that. It was at least 100. That's what I know.
Oh, for sure. So who's next?
Then we got
and some of the more minor guys will go quicker. Like you've got actually legit players.
Yeah, like I just went through all the legit players right there. All that's left is really.
Do you want to talk on any
of
the Eric Kratz? What? You're not bringing him back.
I love Eric Kratz.
He's 40. And he's
the future.
he's the future. What, bald? He's bald and he wears a headband. It's cringy, man.
And carries the Yankees.
What, you keeping 3 catchers on the roster? Oh
Oh
yeah. I had a
yeah.
Yankee fan tell me, he's not like a huge fan, but he told me, he's like, oh yeah, dude, are new catchers like really good? I'm like,
Wait, which way is he
Higashioka's
referring
really good. Like he's
to? Kratz or
okay. No,
Higashioka?
Higashioka. I'm like, he's okay. Just because he got more playing time doesn't mean, oh well, Keon Broxton gets playing time, so now he's good. Like, man. So what are you bringing back, Garrett Kratz?
It's a very good question.
Minor league
I
deal.
think he can. Yeah, maybe invite him to
Invite
spring
to spring
training just for
training.
the hell of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Enough said.
You know who we're inviting to spring training, right? Every year. Tim Tebow. Got to sell them tickets.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
He'll make it eventually.
No, he won't. If he does, that means it's September and we're not playing very well.
Oh, must be playing like hot garbage.
Playing like shit. It's like how we were in 2018 in September for like 30 games under 500 or something crazy awful like that. And then I don't think it was that bad, but roster should expand, sell some tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before we actually had like real players like Alonso and
Yeah.
so. Is that all the guys you have to talk about?
Yeah, that's all of them.
So I'm actually going to go over some of the guys no one cares about. So, um, first player, fuck this guy. I hate him now. I used to love him. Yoenis Cespedes, kiss my ass. You never wanted to be a Met after you robbed us tons of money.
Where'd he go?
Go to your fucking ranch. Go break your ankle.
I can't
attack
find
a wild
him.
boar. Yeah, go attack
Where'd
a
he
wild
go?
boar. He was at a mall after he disappeared, was seen at a mall, and
A
then just
mall.
opted out because of COVID concerns, and then said because uh uh he said like he didn't want to be a DH, which yeah, I didn't want your ass being a DH. I didn't want you playing at all because I
Wait.
wanted Dom
I'm
Smith.
trying to. There's one thing I'm not wrapping my mind around.
What?
So he didn't want to play because of COVID concerns, and then is
That's what he
found
said.
in a mall.
No, he said that for like so he could have a legitimate opt out because
Yeah.
you couldn't opt out because like I don't know, you want to go watch Game of Thrones with your boys. Like you can't opt out because of that. But
Mm-hmm.
like you could opt out if you concerned about COVID. So he said that, and then like
Yeah.
when the season was basically over, he's like, "Oh yeah, I was annoyed about my role and that I didn't get to play the outfield." I'm like, "Yeah, because your old
That's
ass can't play the
bullshit.
outfield."
Yeah.
Like I wanted you to play
Jesus.
the outfield. I would have rather seen you playing left field and absolute missile arm than freaking JD Davis in the beginning of the year. But thank God he opted out because Dom Smith's a monster now. But this is the toughest one to bring back. So Marcus Stroman. So I saw something about this. I think we have to do this. We can give him an $18 million qualifying offer tender. I think
Mm-hmm.
he should definitely take it because dude didn't pitch all year. He came off a decent
Oh
year,
yeah.
but I don't think he's going to be making this money that people are talking about. Like yeah, you could maybe have that like Zach Wheeler when you're getting signed for your potential, but the dude didn't pitch last year. I say have a good year in New York. I think he wants to be a Met. He grew up in the area. Clearly doesn't want to be a Yankee. So um, I I don't know if I want to lock into him long term, but also like I talked about earlier, like trading for a year and a half a year of him, like that's a
That
waste
was.
unless you re-sign him.
What the hell was
It's Brody Van Wagenen. What can I say?
that?
But all right. Next, I talked about this guy earlier, Dylan Betances. He's on a player option. He'll probably pick it up. You said where did he go about Yoenis Cespedes? I have a where did he go about this guy, Jed fucking Lowry. What the hell happened to him? You know what I'm talking about? He's like
Well,
that
injured.
dude.
Yeah, injuries,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The dude he was on the A's. He was like a monster. He came to the Mets. He sprained his knee in spring training. Was it It was like a left knee capsule sprain, and he was never seen again. Basically, he was injured the whole freaking year, And thank God we had like guys like J.D. Davis just randomly start playing well, so we didn't have to depend on him. But yeah, um,
Kind of like a
we're
Jacoby Ellsbury.
yeah, basically, and he's just injured and gone. You don't know where the hell he's at. He had like 8 pinch hit at bats at the end of the year. Didn't play the field once. Didn't get a hit, so he has a 0 average with the Mets. I don't think he got on base once. I think he struck out pretty much every time. So I think he's going to retire. Honestly, I don't think he's ever going to be able to play again.
I think he would have retired by now if he was really,
He's 37. So
he should retire, but I think he would have already retired.
Yeah, but who's gonna sign him? Honestly,
nobody.
What?
So I think
yeah, you're not gonna sign a minor league deal, no.
But I don't think he still wants to play though. Is what I'm trying to say.
But he can't.
He can't play, but he wants to play.
So he's gonna be Jacoby Ellsbury. He's gonna not be retired, but he's just gonna be a free agent, just sitting there.
Yeah. And then once he realizes that nobody's gonna take him, he's gonna retire then.
I'd take him on a minor league deal, so whenever the Syracuse Mets come, I get to watch Jed Lowry. That'd be cool. I don't want to see him play. I don't want to see him play, but I don't know. Entertainment.
Okay.
But it's not like I don't want him playing, but yeah, you sign him to a minor league deal so the AAA fans can be entertained by him, I guess. Get a signed ball from him. I don't know. Yeah, no, he's gonna retire. He's pretty much toast now. Well, it sucks because I like that signing. It's just like it was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rick Porcello.
I just looked it up. He did actually walk in one of his 8 plate appearances, so technically it was a win. And I think you guys should definitely re-sign him.
So what was his on-base percentage?
125.
Exactly. All right, Rick Porcello. Yeah, kiss my ass. You suck. I don't hate Rick Porcello. He grew up a Mets fan, which is cool. But no, we got to upgrade there. He's exactly what you're talking about. He's a sinker baller. Doesn't really fit. Gives up too many hits. Doesn't walk anyone, which is nice, but gives up a shit ton of hits. Wilson Ramos, his club options required, declined. Thank God, you fat buffalo. Get the fuck out of here. Robinson Chirinos, he's gone too. Yay. Okay, Justin Wilson, please bring him back. I'm a big fan of him. Didn't have a great year last year, but his numbers were kind of inflated from a couple bad outings, but he was being overworked a bunch too. Like he blew a game once, but he was like his management was not good for part of that. But his market value on Spot Track is determined at so he made $5 million last year and it's turning at $7 million. So I think he signed 2 years, $10 million, or I think $12 million. I'd give him another 2 years with an option or something around $7 million a year, maybe a bit less than that. We don't really have many left-hand pitchers in our bullpen, so he's really good with that. Good fastball cutter, slider. I really like watching him pitch. So he had a couple rough outings, but I like him. Todd Frazier, we already talked about. Marisnick, definitely want to bring him back as your 4th outfielder. Made $3 million last year, his last year of arbitration. I think you can bring him back for around that same price. Hit surprisingly well in a super limited sample size. They kind of platooned him and Brandon Nimmo. Like he hit against left-handers. He had a home run against the Yankees, if you can remember.
I think I can remember
Green, that. Yeah. So.
Oh no! Oh my God! Don't! Oh my God!
Yeah, where he just completely.
I just had a huge flashback.
Yep. I think he hit 300 something, but
I'll look it up right now.
But I definitely want to bring back Jake Marisnick. Really good outfielder, fast, hit decently. He could be your 4th outfielder.
Oh wow, he did hit well.
What was the stat?
He hit 333 and 33 at bats.
So like obviously super small sample size, but like still.
Yeah. But also worth noting that he has a career OPS of 666.
Oh, you got to bring him back then.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next Michael
Just what
Wacha.
the Mets need.
Michael Wacha, no, he sucked last year. I actually thought he could be potentially like he had a good decent start to his career with the Cardinals, and then it kind of fell apart. Like I thought he could be decent. He wasn't really supposed to pitch last year because he signed like 2 5-starters, and they're kind of gonna battle it out. But then Steven Matz forgot how to pitch, and Noah Syndergaard got hurt, and Stroman opted out, and it was a disaster. So no, Michael Wacha, no. Eduardo Nunez, he played like a game and then got hurt. Bring him on a minor league deal. I don't really care. He's like a good. If the rosters are big enough, yeah, he could play like every position. But no, yeah, no, well, yeah, let him walk. No. What is he like vet minimum? I don't know. Brad Brock, no. I mean, yeah, he's gonna pick up his option. Rene Rivera, fuck no. He's like worse than he's like Wilson Ramos shit. Like he's another
Yeah,
tortoise,
if you
slow
gave
tortoise.
Rain Rivera
Rene.
steroids, it's Renee?
Yeah, Rene. It's Rene.
Reen.
Renee.
I always thought it was Reen.
Are you serious or are you just
I
joking?
am 100% serious.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, if you gave him steroids, he'd probably just be Wilson Ramos. So,
All right. Next, Jared Hughes. I like Hughes. He's a sinker
ugh.
baller, but he pitched well. He's good because he can. He says he pitches. The ball sinks more when he's tired, so you can pitch him a lot. Now they kind of tended to overuse him a bit last year. He had a couple rough outings. At first, he was really good, but if like I said, if the rosters are big enough, then maybe. But yeah, he made 700,000. Bring him in on like vet minimum. He's like been on literally every team. It seems like.
Yep.
He's famous for running out of the dugout, like sprinting, which caused JT Realmuto to roll his eyes at him. Next guy, Erasmo Ramirez. Maybe the best player you've never heard of. He was like a nobody, I think, for like the Red Sox before, and then he had like a 1 point something ERA with the Mets last year. He was our long reliever, and he worked really well in that role. So, I want to non-tender Robert Gesellman and Steven Matz, so he could probably, which we might talk more. I guess I can talk about that now if you want to talk about guys to tender or not. But I want Steven Matz gone so badly, and Robert Gesellman, he sucks too. So Erasmo Ramirez could be your long guy in the bullpen, which could be really cool. So I think we're
Yeah.
gonna do like a mock off-season episode too. This is just gonna be kind of individual videos, and then we could do like one big one of just kind of talking like all of our mock off seasons, what we would do. So
Yeah.
we'll get more into that another day. But then Mark Cross and Mitch Atkins and Casey Coleman, never heard of them.
Respect.
And so I don't. Yeah, it doesn't even give any information about their salary or anything. But yeah, that's all the Mets. Mets impending UFAs. Hopefully, bring some of those guys back. Hopefully, we let some of those guys walk. Man, imagine we bring Cespedes back. I'm gonna be so pissed.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's
Like,
gonna retire. He's gonna retire. I don't
the
know if
Mets
he.
aren't gonna give him an offer? Are you kidding
Yeah,
me? After
I
what
don't
he
know if
did
he
to
likes
him?
baseball anymore. It
Yeah, he's
didn't
more
seem
of a
like it.
football guy now.
He's more of a horse guy on his farm. He's a wild boar guy.
Yeah.
But yep, those are the guys I would bring back slash let walk. Any more news? Unfortunately, Joe Beningo has retired from WFAN. Big Mets fan. Gonna miss him shitting on the team. But we got quite a good offseason coming up this year with some big free agent names. We're gonna do our weekly show like we usually do, and we'll also, I know I will, if Mets have any breaking news, I'll make a quick vid on the spot. We should have a lot of good content. Once the kind of the trades and signings and all the moves kind of slow down like they did last year, like
Yeah.
before 19 it
Cold
was like,
stove.
yeah, it was all like the hot stove was at the end when like Machado and Harper signed. This year all the guys signed like at the winter meetings. So when the cold stove kind of starts to get even colder, we're going to do our player like top 10 player rankings. We're going to do maybe some lineup previews, predictions, all sorts of goodies. So
Yeah.
we got no baseball, but we got quite. It's funny. We got more stuff to talk about when there isn't baseball. So yeah, it should be great. Any
Yeah.
last words, Ben?
Nope.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell.
Oh,
Join
yeah.
Noti Gang. All that shit.
Don't forget to comment first on all of our videos.
Yeah, comment first. Comment any video suggestions. Be our first commenter in the history of our channel. We haven't gotten one yet, unfortunately.
If you're the first commenter, I'll give you a cookie.
Yeah, we're gonna
Like,
mail
no
it
lie,
to your
I'll
house,
drive to your house.
but it might go bad in the mail.
That's why I'm going to drive to their house.
What if it's some random dude in like China?
Bet. I want to go to China really
Go to
bad.
China.
Yeah.
Get the coronavirus. I mean, give it back to China, basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would suck. But
You
anyways,
just
guys,
demonetized this video.
dude, we don't have ads on our videos. I said COVID earlier.
Not yet.
A YouTube, I've seen so many YouTubers have their own coronavirus. Like this guy, a Jets guy I watch calls it the Ro. Another channel calls it the cough. It's like,
Oh, I've heard the cough.
yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube isn't crazy about coronavirus. But thanks guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Let's go Mets, LFGM.
Fuck that.
All right, see you guys next time.